Welcome back to Life Be Lifing. This season is called Trauma Responses. We call personality, and today we're talking about something so many people mistake for kindness. People pleasing. Some people wear it like a compliment. They're so nice. They're always there for everyone. They give you the shirt off their back. And while those things can absolutely come from a genuine place, sometimes they come from somewhere much deeper. Not love, not generosity, but survival. Today, I want us to slow down and explore the difference. Not to judge ourselves, but to understand ourselves. Some of us became experts at reading a room before we ever learned how to read ourselves. We can tell when someone's mood changes before they say a word. We notice the tone in a text message, the look on someone's face, the sigh, the silence. We're constantly scanning the environment, trying to figure out if everyone is okay. Not because we're naturally gifted at reading people, but because, at one point in life, our emotional safety depended on it. When you're raised in unpredictable environments, you learn to anticipate emotions before they happen. You become the peacekeeper, the fixer, the one who keeps everything from falling apart. Eventually, that becomes second nature. You don't even realize you're doing it. While everyone else is simply existing, you're managing everyone's emotional climate, and that's exhausting. There's nothing wrong with being kind. Kindness is beautiful, but kindness comes from freedom. People-pleasing comes from fear. There's a difference. Kindness says, I want to help. People-pleasing says, I have to help or something bad will happen. Kindness allows you to say yes. People-pleasing makes you afraid to say no. One is rooted in love, the other is rooted in anxiety. Sometimes we confuse the two because we've lived with them for so long they feel the same. But they're not. One fills you up, the other slowly drains you. Let's talk about where this begins. Maybe growing up, being the good child was how you received attention. Maybe you learned not to talk back, not to ask for too much, not to cry too loudly, not to make anyone's life harder. Maybe every compliment sounded like this. You're so easy. You're so helpful. You're so mature for your age. At first, those words felt good. But over time, they quietly taught you that love had conditions, acceptance had requirements, and being loved meant being useful. So adulthood becomes a continuation of that lesson. You keep giving, keep fixing, keep sacrificing because somewhere deep inside, a younger version of you still believes that being needed is the same thing as being loved, but it isn't. Here's what people-pleasing often costs: your voice, your boundaries, and your peace. You become so focused on what everyone else wants that you stop knowing what you want. Someone asks where you want to eat. I don't care. Someone asks what movie you want to watch. Whatever you want. Someone crosses one of your boundaries. It's okay. Until one day you don't recognize yourself anymore. Because you've spent so much time becoming who everyone else needed that you forgot to become who you are. That's one of the quietest consequences of people-pleasing. It doesn't usually happen overnight. It happens one ignored feeling, one swallowed opinion, one forced smile at a time. Have you ever noticed how uncomfortable the word no can feel? Not because it's wrong, but because it feels dangerous. Sometimes guilt shows up immediately. Sometimes anxiety follows. Sometimes we replay the conversation over and over, wondering if someone is upset with us. But here's something worth thinking about. If setting one healthy boundary makes someone withdraw their love, was it ever unconditional to begin with? Healthy relationships don't require constant self-sacrifice. They make room for honesty. They make room for limits. They make room for your humanity. Healing doesn't mean becoming cold. It doesn't mean becoming selfish. It doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It simply means you begin caring about yourself too. You start asking different questions. What do I actually feel? What do I actually want? Am I saying yes because I want to, or because I'm afraid? Healing often starts with very small moments. Saying no without over-explaining, asking for help, expressing an opinion, choosing rest instead of guilt, and allowing someone to be disappointed without believing you've done something wrong. Those moments may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort isn't always danger. Sometimes it's growth. Before we end today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. You were never meant to earn your place in people's lives by constantly abandoning yourself. Love shouldn't require you to disappear. Relationships shouldn't require you to silence your needs. And your worth has never been measured by how many people you can make happy. Maybe the next step in your healing journey isn't learning how to give more. Maybe it's learning that you're worthy even when you don't. If today's episode resonated with you, I encourage you to sit with one simple question this week. When was the first time I believed I had to earn love by keeping everyone else comfortable? Sometimes healing doesn't begin with an answer. Sometimes it begins with the courage to ask the question. Until next time, take care of yourself, be gentle with your healing, and remember, you don't have to lose yourself just to be loved.